It is the summer of 1917. A young soldier named Corporal James Robert Conroy is training with the 102nd Infantry Regiment at Yale Field in New Haven, Connecticut. One day, a stray dog wanders onto the training ground. He is a small brown and white mutt, possibly a Boston Terrier or a Bull Terrier mix. He is scruffy, friendly, and utterly unremarkable. But this dog has something that no one else in the regiment has. He has heart. The soldiers fall in love with him. They name him Stubby, after his stubby tail. He becomes their mascot, their friend, their good luck charm. He learns the bugle calls, the drills, and even how to salute with his paw. But when the regiment is shipped off to France to fight in World War I, Stubby faces an impossible choice. He could stay behind, or he could do something no one expected. He follows his men onto the troop ship, hides in the coal bunker, and is discovered mid-voyage. The commanding officer is furious, but the men plead for him to stay. They have already fallen in love with their scrappy little friend. And Stubby is about to prove he is worth far more than anyone could have ever imagined. This is the incredible story of Sergeant Stubby, the most decorated war dog in American history. The exact origins of Stubby are unknown. He was described in contemporary news items as a Boston Terrier or Bull Terrier mutt. He was found wandering the grounds of Yale Field in 1917, a stray with no home and no future. But he was smart. He learned the bugle calls. He learned the drills. He learned to salute with his paw. The soldiers of the 102nd Infantry Regiment adopted him and named him Stubby for his short, docked tail. He became their mascot, their morale booster, their friend. But when the regiment was ordered to France, the men knew they couldn't leave Stubby behind. He had become one of them. So they did something extraordinary. They smuggled him onto the troop ship. He was discovered mid-voyage. The commanding officer, Major J.B. Hatch, was furious. He demanded an explanation, but the men begged him to let Stubby stay. They explained that Stubby had become their mascot and that he brought them good luck. Hatch relented. Stubby was allowed to stay, and his journey to heroism had begun. Stubby survived the treacherous Atlantic crossing. He arrived in France in 1918. The soldiers of the 102nd Infantry Regiment were about to enter one of the most brutal theaters of the war. Stubby was not just a mascot, he was a soldier. He marched with the men. He endured the same conditions. He slept in the same muddy trenches. He learned to distinguish the sound of incoming artillery and would bark a warning before shells hit. He would also run out to wounded soldiers, barking for medics to come to their aid. Stubby entered combat on February 5, 1918, at Chemin des Dames, north of Soissons. He was under constant fire, day and night, for over a month. In April 1918, during a raid to take Seicheprey, Stubby was wounded in the foreleg by retreating Germans throwing hand grenades. He was sent to the rear for convalescence and, as he had done on the front, improved morale. When he recovered from his wounds, Stubby returned to the trenches. In his first year of battle, Stubby was injured by mustard gas. After he recovered, he returned with a specially designed gas mask to protect him. He thus learned to warn his unit of mustard gas attacks, locate wounded soldiers in no man's land, and, since he could hear the whine of incoming artillery shells before humans, became very adept at alerting his unit when to duck for cover. In the early morning hours, Stubby was moving through the trenches. A faint hissing sound filled the air. It was mustard gas, a silent, invisible killer that caused blindness, blisters, and a painful death. The men were asleep. They had no idea what was coming. Stubby began running. He barked. He nipped at the men. He pulled them from their bunks. His frantic behavior woke the soldiers. They grabbed their gas masks just in time. The entire regiment survived. Stubby had saved every single man in the unit. He was hailed as a hero. And he had just proven that he was not just a mascot, he was a vital part of the regiment. In the Argonne, Stubby was responsible for capturing a German spy. He was serving near the Meuse River in France. He was used to the noise and chaos of the front lines. But one night, he sensed something different. A German soldier was sneaking through the trenches, trying to map the American positions. Stubby saw him. He attacked. He grabbed the soldier's leg and bit him. The soldier screamed. The Americans rushed to the scene. They discovered the man had been carrying maps of the American positions. Stubby had captured a German spy. The commanding officer was amazed. He recommended Stubby for promotion. Stubby was officially made a member of the 102nd Infantry Regiment and promoted to Sergeant R, the first dog ever to hold that rank in the U.S. military. Following the retaking of Château-Thierry by the U.S., women of the town made Stubby a chamois coat upon which his many medals were pinned. He was later injured again in the chest and leg by a grenade. He ultimately had 2 wound stripes. The war ended in November 1918. Stubby had served for 18 months and participated in 17 battles and 4 offensives on the Western Front. He had saved his regiment from surprise mustard gas attacks, found and comforted the wounded, and captured a German spy. He was the most decorated war dog in American history. Stubby and Conroy returned to the United States. They were greeted as heroes. Stubby marched in and normally led many parades across the country. He met Presidents Woodrow Wilson, Calvin Coolidge, and Warren G. Harding. He was awarded a gold medal from the Humane Education Society by General John J. Pershing in 1921. He was made a life member of the American Legion and the YMCA. His exploits were reported in newspapers across the country. During that same year, he attended Georgetown University Law Center along with Conroy and became the Georgetown Hoyas team mascot. Given a football at halftime, he would nudge it around the field to the amusement of the fans. Stubby was not just a dog. He was a symbol of American courage and resilience. Stubby died in his sleep in March 1926 at the age of approximately 10. He passed away in the arms of his best friend, Robert Conroy. His obituary in the New York Times was half a page, much longer than the obituaries of many notable people of that time period. The story of Stubby did not end with his death. His legacy continued. Today, he remains the most famous war dog in American history. His story has been told in books, documentaries, and even an animated film. His body was preserved and is now on display in the National Museum of American History at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. In 2006, a brick was placed in the Walk of Honor at the Liberty Memorial in Kansas City to commemorate Sergeant Stubby. In 2018, a life-size bronze statue of Stubby named Stubby Salutes was dedicated at Veterans Memorial Park in Middletown, Connecticut. The lesson of Stubby is simple. Heroism has no species. Courage is not measured by size or breed. It is measured by heart. Stubby was a stray dog who became a soldier, a hero, and a legend. He proved that even the smallest creatures can make the biggest difference. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.